British television has lost one of its most defining and beloved icons. Dame Penelope Keith, the comic genius who taught a nation how to laugh at its own eccentricities, has passed away at the age of 86. Her family confirmed that she died peacefully on Monday, the 29th of June 2026, at her home in Surrey, where she'd lived for over half a century, following a battle with cancer. The outpouring of love was immediate. Her Good Life co-star Felicity Kendall remembered her as an absolute comic genius and a joy to know and work with. Broadcaster Giles Brandreth beautifully noted that hers was indeed a good life. For decades, Penelope Keith dominated our screens with an unmatched blend of impeccable comic timing, self-assurance and those famously sharp ice-pick consonants. She could deliver a line as if it were a jewelled crown resting on a velvet cushion. Yet behind the formidable cut-glass exterior of her most famous characters was a woman of immense warmth, humility and a lifelong devotion to making people smile. Today we look back at the incredible life and legendary career of a true national treasure. Though her signature voice exuded high society aristocracy, Penelope Keith's actual upbringing was far more grounded. Born Penelope Hatfield in Sutton, Surrey in 1940, she grew up in Clacton-on-Sea and Clapham during the height of the Second World War. Her father left when she was very young, and with her mother frequently away working, Penelope spent much of her early childhood with her grandparents. At the age of 6, her life shifted when she was sent to a Catholic convent boarding school run by French nuns in East Sussex. It was here, amidst elocution lessons and school plays, that the acting bug bit. She famously recalled coming home from school, sitting and telling her mother she would either become a nun or an actress. Her mother dryly replied, "Darling, nuns can't wear pretty clothes." The decision was made. She would become an actress. But breaking into the industry wasn't easy. Standing at 5 feet 10 inches tall, her height became an immediate roadblock. Drama schools like RADA rejected her for simply being too tall. Undeterred, she earned a place at the Webber Douglas Academy of Dramatic Art, funding her studies by working evenings at the Hyde Park Hotel. Tutors warned her that her height and plain looks would limit her options, but Penelope adapted. She decided she would simply become the gag girl, taking on character roles ranging from ages 19 to 90 in repertory theatre and later with the Royal Shakespeare Company. This gruelling, versatile training ground gave her the formidable range that would soon skyrocket her to fame. Through the 1960s and early 1970s, Keith became a reliable, hard-working fixture on British television, appearing in everything from The Avengers to Dixon of Dock Green. She even landed her own series, Kate, playing a ruthless magazine editor that earned her the tongue-in-cheek title of The Woman You Love to Hate. Her stage career was simultaneously flourishing. In 1976, she won an Olivier Award for her brilliant performance in the play Donkey's Years. Around this time, she was also starring in Alan Ayckbourn's celebrated stage trilogy, The Norman Conquests, alongside Felicity Kendall. It was during this theatrical run that Richard Bryars saw them and realised they'd be absolutely perfect for an upcoming BBC sitcom. That sitcom was The Good Life. When The Good Life premiered in 1975, the show was meant to focus entirely on Tom and Barbara Good's attempts at suburban self-sufficiency. In fact, in the very first episode, Penelope's character, the snobbish suburban social climber Margot Ledbetter, wasn't even seen. We just hear her voice. But Penelope took a firm, vice-like grip on the character from the very beginning. Audiences couldn't get enough of her. Margot was pretentious, humourless, and easily horrified by the Goods' backyard pigs, yet Penelope infused her with an odd vulnerability and a hidden heart of gold that made her utterly adored. In 1977 she won a BAFTA for the role, and Margot officially entered the Hall of Fame of British Comedy. If The Good Life made her a household name, her next move solidified her as sitcom royalty. In 1979, she seamlessly transitioned into the lead role of Audrey Forbes Hamilton in To the Manor Born. playing a recently widowed aristocrat forced to sell her beloved country estate to a nouveau riche supermarket tycoon, played spectacularly by Peter Bowles, the will-they-won't-they chemistry gripped the nation. The final episode of the first series in 1979 pulled in nearly 24 million viewers. It became the most watched non-live television event of the entire decade. Penelope Keith had achieved the impossible, back-to-back, generation-defining comedy masterpieces. Throughout the 1980s and 90s, Penelope remained a tireless force on television and radio. She brought her commanding screen presence to 6 more sitcoms, tackling diverse roles from a Labour MP in No Job for a Lady, to a no-nonsense barrister in Law and Disorder, to a deeply reluctant grandmother in Next of Kin. As the years moved on, Penelope returned to her first love, the theatre, mastering classics by Oscar Wilde and Noel Coward. But she also found a second life on television by sharing her genuine passion for the British countryside. Documentaries like Penelope Keith's Hidden Villages and Village of the Year showcase the real Penelope, warm, inquisitive and deeply connected to her community. Beyond the camera, her life was defined by service. For over 30 years, she served as the president of the Actors Benevolent Fund, succeeding Lord Laurence Olivier. She served as the High Sheriff of Surrey, and in 2014 she was rightfully appointed a Dame Commander of the Order of the British Empire for her services to arts and charity. Penelope Keith once beautifully summarised her philosophy on life and work, saying, "Humour is power and a force for good, because if you can laugh, particularly at yourself, you are some way to being able to make sense of things." She gave us that power. She helped a nation laugh at itself, bringing pure happiness to millions across generations. London's West End theatres will dim their lights in honour, and the BBC altered its schedules to play one of her iconic episodes once more. Though Dame Penelope Keith has left us, the joy, the laughter and the unforgettable characters she created will live on forever. Thank you, Penny, for a truly good life.